guess we underestimated whatever was behind it. But if that's the case, then what exactly are we dealing with here?
I know that voice.
Hmm? Huh?
What brings you to Dragonspine?
Oh, so it was Albedo all along!
All along? Oh, what do you mean by that?
On the way here, we kept hearing weird noises, and it felt like someone was watching us the whole time. Turns out it was just you! Honestly, you really gave us the creeps. If you're bored up here, go find something useful to do. Don't go sneaking around scaring the poop out of people.
I see. So you foisted the rookie off onto Eula so that you could wander off and goof around?
We're not goofing around! And Eula was the right person for the job. We were just being nice. What about you then, huh? What are you doing on Dragonspine?
A friend commissioned me to do some artwork recently, and I have yet to finish. I came here because it's a quiet place where I can gather my thoughts, gather inspiration, and gather some raw materials while I'm at it.
Raw materials? For what?
Paint. Starsilver can be used to make high-quality silver paint. I just ran out of my previous batch, so I'll collect some ore while I'm here.
Ore can be used to make paint?
Yes, but you have to be selective with the specimens you choose. Even with a high level of impurities, Starsilver still contains fine silver-colored particles, but they lack luster, which impacts the color saturation of the pigment made from them. Paint made with such pigment is generally viewed as a fake or a defective product.
Interesting. So, paint aside, can you talk about how you find inspiration? Paimon wants to learn.
You want to learn to paint?
No, not for me. For the Traveler. Paimon wants the Traveler to learn how to paint. During our travels, we sometimes have nights where there's nothing to do. It'd sure be nice to do something memorable rather than just sit around. Painting is a great example because it can capture a moment in time. So it seems like it's definitely a worthwhile skill to have. Yep, why not? Once you mastered it, you can paint Paimon.
Not a bad idea. Well, since you two would like to learn more about painting, why don't you come with me to the campsite? I have painting materials there. You can practice while I give you some guidance.
Sounds great! Oh, she'll be fine. She is a Knight of Favonius after all. Let's just forget about all that stuff for now and go with Albedo. Come on, let's go! It's so cold out. Paimon wants to get to the camp and warm up by the fire. Ah! Thieves! It's gotta be!
Some things are missing.
Nothing valuable, hopefully. Wait, where's Paimon's Mora?
It's hard to say their value, but some of my alchemy notes are missing.
Alchemy notes? Would they fetch a high price?
To the uninitiated, they are merely scraps of paper. But for someone who knows what they're doing, the knowledge contained in those notes is more valuable than any treasure.
So you're saying only someone who knows alchemy would have stolen them? But the only people who come to Dragonspine are adventurers, thieves, and monsters. What use would any of them have with your notes?
I feel the same way. However, hilly trail break-ins and other such incidents are not unheard of on Dragonspine. It's difficult to draw a conclusion based solely on the evidence at hand. These appear to be...
Footprints?
fresh ones. Meaning our thief can't have made it far.
Let's chase him down! We can't let them get away!
Here, more footprints.
They're heading to the cavern! Ooh, we got you now! You sure can run, but you definitely can't hide! Let's go in!
Wait, I have an idea. I'll go in alone. Traveler, please stay here and guard the entrance. This cavern has 2 points of entry, and there are shortcuts inside. Judging from the state of the footprints, he hasn't been in there long. I should be able to reach the other side before he does.
Cut him off at both ends. Good idea!
Whoever apprehends the thief first has to notify the other party. This way we're fully covered. Still, safety comes first. We do not yet know the identity of our thief. Please take care.
We'll be fine.
Okay. See you shortly. Of course.
I wonder if Albedo found the thief. This is taking forever. Really? Huh. Maybe it just feels like a long time because Paimon hates waiting. Waiting is so boring. Why don't we find something to do to pass the time? You know, something like... Oh! Look at all that Starsilver over there! Why don't we gather it up for Albedo? It's right next to the cavern, so we won't be going far. If anything happens outside, we can be right back here in no time. Yay! Let's get started! This should be enough. Some Starsilver shines a lot more brightly than others, huh? Finally, you're back!
Yes. Sorry. I was unable to catch him. He was faster than I'd imagined.
Oh. So after all that, we still don't even know who the thief was? What a waste! Still, we won't be going back completely empty-handed. We did some mining!
Mining?
Yeah, for Starsilver. Look, we got quite a lot! It's just like you said. Some are really bright and shiny, and others just look like regular lumps of rock with a little shiny bit here or there.
Starsilver. I was merely saying what was on the front of my mind. I hadn't thought you would genuinely go and gather some.
Well, you said they can be turned into paint, so we got pretty curious. Also, if it weren't for that thief, we'd be making paint by now anyway, right? Or even painting by this point. Anyway, it's all the thief's fault for wasting our time.
Yes, it's all the thief's fault. The notes mean a lot to me. I'm not quite ready to give up the search yet. Let's keep an eye out for clues as we go.
Oh, just one thing. Do you want us to bring all this ore back, or did you want to sort through and get rid of the useless bits first? There's no point in bringing the bad ones back if it'll ruin the quality of the paint. Some of them do look pretty dull to Paimon, so it doesn't seem like those will be of any use at all.
Indeed. The sorting process is necessary. Humans are such practical creatures. They only want those things that are good. Once they have learned to distinguish between good and bad, they will never stop comparing things in their minds. Useless things should be disposed of at the outset.
Right! Saves a lot of time that way. Efficiency first. So let's start by...
Help! Help me!
Wait! Did you guys hear that? Was that a cry for help? It's likely an adventurer in danger. Okay, this is weird. Where has he run off to?
This is great! Dragon Spine's so fun today. There's so many people around. It's never usually like this.
This was where we heard Bennett's cry for help, right? We heard his voice and went straight over to rescue him. Then we noticed Albedo was gone. Huh. So he just didn't feel like helping us save Bennett?
Wait, what?
What are you talking about?
Albedo? Where the heck have you been? We've been looking for you.
I should be the one to ask you that. Didn't I tell you to stay at the cavern entrance?
Huh?
I'm not really following who was waiting for who and who was looking for who, but first things first. I apologize, Albedo. I don't fully understand what's going on, but it seems like it's mostly my fault.
No. Bennett, this is not because of you. You needn't blame yourself. Traveler, clear this up for me. What was the reason that you left the cavern entrance? Did you...
There you are. Stay right there. You have a lot of explaining to do.
What? Me?
Huh? Eula? Aren't you supposed to be helping the new guy?
Yes, that's what I would be doing, if I hadn't been interrupted by a certain someone's malicious scheming. Albedo, I saw you taking Joel towards the wasteland at the edge of Dragonspine. That place is crawling with monsters. What the devil do you think you were doing?
Whoa, wait a second. What's going on? Actually, wrong question. How much stuff is going on?
When I came to stop you from leading Joel any further, your first reaction was to throw the child down and attack me. When I fought back, you quickly fled. Care to explain?
I see. Interesting.
Interesting.
Eula, it sounds like you met an impostor. Someone who was impersonating me.
Impersonating you? To what end?
It is difficult to draw a definitive conclusion for now. But these strange incidents do seem to be connected.
Your alchemy notes were stolen. Can the Traveler and Paimon testify that the three of you were together up until you entered the cavern?
Yes, we can confirm that.
As things stand, I don't have any reason to harm the child. Whoever you met is likely to be both the thief who stole my notes, and also an impostor. Of course, it's entirely natural for you to be skeptical of my story. I was separated from the Traveler and Paimon for a significant duration while we were pursuing the thief. My word alone cannot serve as a definitive account of my actions and whereabouts during that period. But the Traveler and Paimon can at least testify that I was not the individual who tore up the campsite or stole my notes.
Albedo, do you have any enemies? Could it be one of your enemies impersonating you to get revenge on you or something?
I don't have any enemies. And I'm not aware of having given anyone cause to exact vengeance upon me. There is insufficient evidence to assert what happened with any certainty at this point. Given how serious the situation is, I intend to investigate it myself, even if you decide not to pursue it any further. Eula, I won't discourage your ongoing suspicion of me if you can't believe my story. Though, naturally, I would hope you can afford me some credibility on account of our solidarity as fellow members of the Knights of Favonius. Traveler, Paimon, Bennett, if you are willing, I welcome you to monitor my activities beyond this point so that you can act as my witnesses. If I am what this impostor wants, he will come looking for me again eventually. Things can only become clearer from that point on.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, as preposterous as your claims sound. And I will choose to believe that an impostor went after Joel, and not you. I will keep Joel safe. If you need any support with the investigation, contact myself and Amber.
You have my gratitude.
As far as Amber goes, I will...
Eula! Eula! Where are you?
Amber, we're here!
Eula! Oh, and Traveler, Paimon, Albedo, and Bennett. You're all together. Great. Bennett, I'm glad I ran into you here. Cyrus was telling me you still hadn't shown up. He was getting worried you might have run into some trouble.
Yeah, I ran into a little trouble. Thanks for your concern.
Sure thing. Well, now that I found you, let's go check in with Cyrus. But before that, has something come up? How come you're all gathered here together? Need any help?
Between us, there have been a few minor incidents, but nothing I haven't already dealt with.
Oh, yeah. It's my fault, really. All because of my bad luck. But everything is fine now.
So, it's all set then? Great! Shall we head back down together? I did say I'd bring Bennett back if I saw him.
Sure, I'm ready to go.
Very well. Let's go.
And then there were three.
Traveler, can we talk somewhere else? There's something I need to tell you. Let's go to my camp that we can talk openly, without reservation. But before that...
Whoa, what a mess!
Thank you. I appreciate it.
That should do it. Neat and tidy.
Thank you, both of you. Now that everything is in order, it's time to talk.
You look really serious right now. Is this about what happened earlier?
I remember I once told you that you must have questions, and that I would answer them. I also said that, while I did not wish to deceive you, there were certain things I could not go into detail on. I am a synthetic human being. A human forged by human hand. The one who created me, my mother and teacher. Her name is Rhine-daughter, a researcher from Conria, also known as Gold.
A synthetic human? What the... How the heck does that work?
When the pinnacle of attainment in alchemy is combined with unimaginably vast learning, the apex achievement is the creation of human life.
When you say Conria, do you mean...
I am indeed somewhat older than my appearance might suggest, but when I came into being, Conria had already been destroyed. I have no memories of it. My master raised me and taught me everything. Like her, I am a pure alchemist. I live for academic knowledge. Nationality and identity are not what ultimately define us. Traveler, what is your general feeling toward Dragonspine? You've visited numerous times now. Would you say it's a cold, eerie, and melancholy place? Rhine-daughter created two miraculous beings. One is me, and the other is the venomous dragon, Durin, who died here.
Durin? So that makes you guys... brothers?
As sons of Rhine-daughter, Durin and I are indeed inextricably linked to one another. The phenomenon of our creation defies definition within the scope of a typical human worldview. But if we may tentatively call it birth, then yes, we, by extension, are family.
Speaking of Durin, Paimon remembers that his power was quite... special.
That's right. Because of this, whenever strange things happen on Dragonspine, it always makes me wonder. For instance, the feeling of being watched that you described, as well as the sounds you heard, and the one impersonating me that Eula met.
Oh, right! Paimon knows what you mean! When Eula and the others were here just now, the Traveler gave me a look as if to say, don't say anything. Probably because it would only make you more suspicious, so Paimon kept quiet. But Paimon noticed that you came out of the cavern not too long after going in, and you told us that you didn't manage to catch the thief. Then we heard Bennett calling for help, so we went to rescue him. But strangely, you didn't come with us. And when we got back to the cavern to go find you, suddenly you were the one looking for us.
So, it seems that you met my impostor too.
Well, if so, it was a pretty good impression. He had you down to a T. We never would have guessed. Also, after he left us, why did he go after Joel?
Perhaps Durin's power drives people to madness. But that's merely crude conjecture. Whether someone is impersonating me or there is another false me out there, this is a cursed tale, and it is not one whose weight you should have to bear. Traveler, perhaps you should return to Mondstadt if you have no further business here. The work that lies ahead will occupy me completely. I'm afraid I will be unable to entertain you beyond this point.
Yeah, we're Dragonspine veterans by now. If there's something really bad going on, we can't just leave you here to deal with it on your own. That wouldn't be very nice now, would it? Besides, there's no one else in Mondstadt that you can talk to about this. Sucrose and Timaeus don't know your secret. Yeah, don't push us away at a time like this.
All right. Thank you. You were intending to participate in that winter camp, if I recall correctly. That could serve as an excellent pretext for you to remain on the mountain. In that case, please join in the activities of the Adventurers Guild as planned, and be on the lookout for any leads while you're at it. If anyone sees me, or someone like me...
We'll be sure to pass the info straight on to you.
Good. Then we're agreed.
Okay, let's split up to look for clues, then meet back here at this camp in a few days' time.
Sounds good to me. But please, whatever happens, put your safety first at all times.
Albedo, we're here!
Traveler, Paimon. Your faces say that perhaps you haven't turned up anything?
We investigated all over the mountain, actually, but we didn't see anyone that looked like you or hear of anyone else meeting you.
This is not unexpected. I haven't made much progress either. He appears to know that we are looking for him, and has opted to lie low for the time being. Still, there is one thing I found. I discovered footprints on some parts of the mountain, and although they were a little covered by the snow, I could tell they'd been left by someone of a similar size to myself. The footprints were quite numerous, so I believe my next step will be to rule out each of the adventurers active on Dragonspine, one by one.
We can help with that. We have plenty of contact with the adventurers. So now we... Ah! What was that?
It came from that direction.
Could it be the impostor? Yes, let's hurry.
Here we are. Make yourselves comfortable. Oh, I forgot I don't have that many chairs. Please wait a moment.
What's he doing? Painting?
He is. He's painting a chair. Wait, alchemy can turn paintings into objects? How is this possible?
My paintings are like blueprints. Alchemy simply enables me to omit the manufacturing part of the process. It's an elementary level technique. With enough research and experimentation, this same technique can even be used to create living beings.
Whoa. Well, since you can magically produce chairs, can I have one with a backrest?
No problem. How many of you want backrests?
Me! Me!
I'll also take one with a backrest, if you please.
Can Paimon have a chair that comes with a juicer? Still beats squeezing onto a stool with you.
Alright, you two. Time to paint. Have you decided what to paint?
Like you even need to ask. It's obviously going to be Paimon.
Sure. But we should move elsewhere. We're likely to disturb Bennett's sleep if we stay here, so let's go outside.
Okie dokie. All right, grab your easel, paper, brushes, and paints. Don't leave anything behind.
Let's paint here.
Allow Paimon to adopt an elegant pose for your artistic reference. Hey, what's that look for? Cut the attitude and start putting your perfect Paimon down on the page. You better take this seriously, because this is going on Paimon's wall.
Confidence is a good thing. Those to whom it is endowed do well to flaunt it. I'm looking forward to the finished piece.
Let's start with the head. Now, in your mind's eye, what is written on Paimon's face? Huh? Is that how Paimon really looks to you? Okay, forget it. We can come back to that. Let's move on to the body. Come on, paint what you see when you look at Paimon. Paimon's starting to feel like this is not going to turn out so great. Now Paimon's getting nervous. Let me see. Let Paimon see. What is that? Why how could... Paimon is lost for words. The brushwork is smooth and the composition seems professional quality. You had no problems there. So what the heck happened with the face, huh? Explain that stupid expression! Explain it!
Smooth, professional quality?
And those eyes! Those boring, lifeless eyes! Where's the soul?
Traveler? Have you previously received any education in the fine arts?
What? You pour your heart on the page and this is what comes out? Special, huh? You seriously think special is supposed to look this ugly? Paimon's not convinced. But Paimon is struggling to come up with a comeback.
Fascinating. Paimon, if this is not to your liking, I can make a few amendments. Traveler, what do you think? All right then. Paimon, is this better?
It's a total ground-up overhaul, that's what it is! It's so pretty! Is that really what Paimon looks like?
Adding flourish to the finished piece is an essential component of what makes art... art. This is not to say that you differ from the painting on a fundamental level, rather that the real you and the you in the painting present two different styles of beauty. You remain the core reference point for the painting. So, Paimon, you can put your misgivings aside and hang this painting wherever you like.
Wow! Thanks, Albedo.
Oh, I merely added a flourish here and there. You should be thanking the Traveler. In truth, ground-up overhaul is more or less an accurate description.
The more Paimon looks at it, the more she likes it. Great! Paimon has a portrait painting. Paimon's gonna show this off to everyone.
It's nothing. I can paint you next time, if you'd like. You can hang it in your home as a souvenir. I rarely entertain so many guests at my camp. It's lively. A little noisy, even. But I don't dislike it. Liveliness is a rare thing here on Dragonspire. Everyone!
Albedo! Are you okay?
Nothing serious.
Do with it, okay? Traveler, what's wrong?
Your face looks... Oh no, did you get hit on the head? Here.
Everyone, the incident is behind us now. We should keep moving.
Traveler, I think... you...
It's not over yet! How could you tell the real me and my impostor apart?
I want to know too. I had no idea the other guy was an impostor. They looked exactly the same to me.
I see. It goes to show how difficult it is to impersonate a human. This mutant whopper flower tried its best to replicate the original exactly, but still managed to miss some details.
Unbelievable. To think that Dragonspine creates such terrifying possibilities.
Anyway, at least we won in the end. It looks like my method did work after all. I used up all the bad luck, and the good luck finally came through.
About that. If you're referring to having fallen down the mountain and avoided injury, well, that's because I was secretly protecting you.
Huh? Well, that still counts as good luck to me.
Yes, that's not an unreasonable way of looking at it. Okay. We've been delayed long enough. Time to move on.
Yeah, let's go! Feels like an action-packed chapter has come to a close. Shall we find somewhere to rest and chat too?
Why not? Then please, come with me. You sensed something too, didn't you? Then let's go.
Huh? Are you going back to your camp again? Paimon thought maybe we could talk here. Okay. Might as well come with you.
Good. Shall we set off right away? Sorry for bringing you back here once again. Some topics are best discussed in private. I have to say, Traveler, I'm very surprised you noticed the difference between me and the impostor. Yes, this mark. Perhaps it's where it all began.
Ooh, sounds like the beginning of a big story. Keep going.
Well, I can't deny that what I'm about to say does sound like something from a children's storybook. So, what do you think this diamond-shaped mark means?
A tattoo? A crest? Something else?
No. Consider it a birthmark. Have you ever seen an intricate glass ornament and wondered how it was made? Well, one method for crafting with glass is a technique known as glass blowing. Glass blowing is not a widely known art in Tevat. For this reason, glassware made in this way is usually very expensive. As the name implies, glass blowing involves blowing air into a hole, much like blowing up a balloon. This type of glassware is known for having a pontal mark at the point where the blowpipe was inserted, where the hole was sealed at the very end. This mark is a sign that the item was crafted by a human hand.
Sounds kind of amazing.
It is a wondrous and beautiful art form. Alice says that these marks are seen as proof of the maker's fine handiwork, the only flaw in an otherwise perfect work of art. My mark is something similar to this. The difference between synthetic and natural life lies in the directional flow of the life force. The energy of a natural life form flows out from within. That's why flower buds bloom and curled leaves unfold. And it's the very reason we watch and wonder at blossoming flowers. Creating life artificially, on the other hand, involves, to a certain extent, the introduction of an external source of energy into the embryonic life form. When the hole where the life force was infused is sealed at the end, it leaves a mark not dissimilar to the pontal mark in blown glasswares. The alchemical substance drips and spreads out in all directions, resulting in this rather ingenious diamond shape.
Wow, So that's where it came from.
This mark is a sign of my artificial origins, and proof of my imperfection as a human. I presume that the impostor intentionally avoided replicating this mark, so as not to become less than perfect himself. You are fundamentally different from other people. I have few qualms about sharing my secrets with you. Just as Paimon said, it all sounds like a story. Even if you were to tell anyone else, they would regard it as nothing more than a tall tale. The transcendent and miraculous are not the only things to which human beings aspire. They pursue the everyday, the ordinary, to a far greater extent than I would have ever imagined. People like to believe that those who are thoroughly different from themselves could only ever exist in stories. It makes things much easier. Or, in other words, all of the unfathomable things we've seen recently would make good material for a novel. I have friends who write novels. If they wrote this story, it'd probably be even more complex.
Making up stories is easy. Even Paimon can do that.
Oh. I didn't know you had that kind of talent.
Paimon's the best guide into that. Making up stories is a piece of cake.
In that case, how about we have a storytelling contest? We can base our stories on the events of the last few days.
Sounds great. But we still have to help out the Adventurers Guild.
I understand. Creativity is something that cannot be rushed. Take your time, and come back when you have found some inspiration. We'll see whose story is more compelling.
Deal! Okay, we'll regroup with the Adventurers Guild for now.
Sure. My story. Yes, I should have known. Master's failed specimen in the dragon's belly. This is where the story truly begins. If we switched places, if you were the survivor, then as the abandoned experiment, the failure of the primordial human project, I'd want to replace you too. I would replicate your appearance, study your alchemy, and create miraculous life forms to divert your attention. I would wait for the right moment, then dispose of you in the Traveler, the sole person to have known your secret. And then, I could finally experience the joy of being brought into the world.